Salam sehat Sobat Diri Bali. Jumpa lagi dengan saya Tirka Widanti dalam acara CHIT-CHAT East Meets West, sebuah program bincang santai menghadirkan teman-teman dari mancanegara yang berkunjung ke Bali. Kali ini saya didampingi oleh Profesor Paola Rizzi. Beliau adalah seorang ahli urban planner. Nah, langsung saja kita langsungkan obrolan santai kita, chit-chat kita. Halo.
Hello.
How are you today?
Fine. After a long day, fine.
Long day. Professor, when was your last visit to Bali?
Last visit was 2015.
2015. And first time
1993.
1993.
Yeah.
So your first visit to Bali was in 1993.
Right.
And the last one was in 2015.
2015.
Oh yeah, we met one another, yeah?
Yeah.
First we met in Universitas Ngurah Rai.
Yes.
I remember that. Yeah.
And
we was managing one of international conference, and you were one of the speakers on that time.
Yeah.
So tell me more about yourself.
I am an urban planner. As I said, I'm not an architect, means not an engineer. So my interest and focus is in how control, manage, and try to keep as much as possible, maintain as much as possible the environment that is the city, for the human being that is the city.
So
because
the keywords is CSD urban planner, and maintaining or managing about the city.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes. And also to try to, as much as possible, through strategies to keep, but to find a way how to respect the keywords, the magic keywords of sustainability and durability.
Yeah, sustainability. Consistently, sustainability, the nature, how to maintain the nature in sustainability way, like that.
Yeah, sure. And durability, that
durability,
means,
what does it mean?
Durability in the sense that more and more we are understanding that it's not time to waste more or misuse more the land that we have, and we are in need to understand what to do with the one that we already planned, we already built. So how to manage that in order to have better performance for it.
My understanding that you are currently lecturing, so you are professor in what university?
The University of Sassari, actually.
University of Sassari in Italy?
Yes, in
Sardinia. Are you Italian? Sorry?
I'm Italian.
Yes, so
I am
Italian.
I'm Italian. I forgot always to say because I have also Swiss citizenship.
You can also say you are Balinese.
Yes, I would like to say that. Yes, I am there, but actually I'm visiting professor at Urban Design Development International Curriculum at Tamasat University.
So number one is she is professor at the Sassari University in Italy. Then second one is a visiting professor in what university?
Tamasat University
in Bangkok. And third one?
Third one, I am researcher among others of the DMUCH, that is the Disaster Mitigation for Urban Cultural Heritage
so
Center of
Disaster
Research.
And Mitigation, in Japan.
In Kyoto, Japan.
In Kyoto, Japan. Well, and now you are in Bali. Now you are invited by Universitas Ngurah Rai to give a lecture there. What kind of lecture? What is the topic that you are going to present to the students there at the Universitas Ngurah Rai?
What I'm going to work with them, let's say, to introduce to them is what I'm doing. I am considered, let's say, quite a veteran on the field of participation and participatory planning. So what I'm going participatory planning.
Participatory planning. Oh my God.
Yes, it's quite complicated, and it is complicated in reality. Not only the pronunciation.
Only the pronunciations, yeah.
Not only that, and I'm going to discuss, I hope, with them what is the situation in Europe, in Italy.
Yeah, you tell our Bali Dairy Bali friends, yeah. Okay, so and understand that not many women could be on this major. Yeah, and becoming the professor as well. How do you enjoy that?
Let's say not really true. Actually, there is an increasing number of women that are in the field of this study, and in Italy especially, there are a number of associate full professors. But in other part of the world, I work also with a colleague in Japan. For instance, the percentage of the women is not so high. When it's a matter of theory, there are many women. When it's a matter of practice and techniques, and I am one of the techniques field, because I work in modeling, for instance, using cellular automata, or in simulation or gaming simulation,
mitigation, especially
gaming simulation for mitigation.
Oh, gaming for mitigation. Yeah.
And in this field, there are less women, but I hope that they will increase.
So you are very close to the word disaster management.
Yes, I am.
So to say, yeah.
I am.
Could you please tell us more about what does it mean by disaster management and gaming for this mitigation?
Let's say that gaming simulation is a technique that is widely used. Actually, is a common word, gamification.
Did you make that?
I don't use it because I think that is pushing too much the extreme of what is the nature of the game. That is, for instance, the freedom of play, the freedom of choice. In gamification, the player is more obliged to follow a path, and gaming simulation has a highest level of freedom because you are simulating playing something. Therefore, it's quite important in disaster mitigation, the application of it, but not only. I'm working with participation, for instance, mapping vulnerabilities in communities with some project. Like in Japan, we developed some project regarding the concept of dual space.
Well, we realize that Japan and Indonesia too, a lot of this kind of knowledge are needed. Yeah. So actually, this is a truly CHIT-CHAT. Our CHIT-CHAT is about education, about the mitigation, about disaster, about urban planning, and about anything about women too.
Right. The important one.
The important one. And now I would like to ask about yourself, because since this is a chit-chat, okay? Chit-chat in bahasa Indonesia means ngobrol santai. Yeah.
Okay. So, could you give me some questions so that I can answer? Why not? So it could be easier for me.
Yeah. You almost forget.
Do you want to know my age? I can tell you.
Yeah, I think you are almost 22, yeah, or 20.
Let's say 22 plus 22 plus 20. So that means 64.
Well, it's still young,
Of course.
Still young.
Of course.
Well, a lot of things that still that you can do in terms of your professional, your professor, and also in terms of education and so on. So I would like to How do you see Balinese people on the planning, on the Bali urban planning? How many times have you been visiting Bali?
Let's say 1, 3, 4.
Wow, this is the
fifth.
fourth. This is fifth, yeah.
Fifth.
So how do you see that?
The first time that I came here, the perception was of high nature.
High nature.
A lot of, space for the view, empty lands, I would say. Local communities, more local communities that were working, for instance, in rural
That was
area.
your first impression.
Yes, that was my first
Thought.
Yeah.
In reality,
In reality, it was not like that. I mean, even in 1993, you can see the difference. I mean, the development that was according with the touristic development. That is, one of the resources for the economy of the island. I understand, but you can see that they were starting some use of the land. That is a crucial point when we are talking about planning. That maybe. I don't want to appear too critical, but it could make or increase the vulnerability of some areas. So there is the planning per se, the urban planning per se, don't have to increase any vulnerability or risk. But if this urban planning doesn't exist, or is more regarding some generic rule, is not looking into the detail, we can have some
yesterday
damages.
you talk about I still remember yesterday you talk about the nature concept.
More
about that one.
I think that we need to rethink our concept of nature. We have to reframe.
Are you saying regeneration or regional?
Of course, you are right, because I'm not talking about forest probably, but I'm talking about the nature that is within in coexistence with the built environment, in strictly coexistence with human beings. So in such a case, I think that we have to probably look to the nature in a different way, look to the nature as something that is part of us and we are part of it, and therefore we have to understand how to coexist rather than plant trees without any criteria
and
a plan
itself,
and import things that we are not needed,
not necessary.
And even maybe you will say this is a bit silly example, but nowadays we are witnessing looking everywhere. We have area in the city that are abandoned for 20 or 30 years, or island that are abandoned, or part of not of the city, entire small villages that are abandoned.
Are you saying that, look, we need to wake up now, like that? Or
it, on one sense, yes. On the other sense, understand what really we want. Do we need this kind of development without limits?
I see, because everything's in your thought is planned. Well, so you are the planner, like that. Okay, now I think
Can I interrupt you?
Oh, sure.
At the same time, this is not planning. For instance, there are areas that probably can be left as they are. I mean, even within the city, because they increase the biodiversity of the city. So why to, let's say, recreate a park, for instance, in an area that could be left there in order to create as an area of biodiversity, a refuge for all the lives.
Yeah, agree with you. Okay, now
so there's unplanned.
plan the plan. We say since your background study was or is in a public. Oh no, me in public. So can be reversed anyway. So yours is urban planning, and me is in public administration. How do you see this people in Bali in terms of follow the regulation in public administration related to the urban planning, the city urban planning?
First of all, I can't say that I have experience, really. Yeah, but so I cannot say that what I see is just what I see.
We are in educator world.
Yeah,
exactly. We need to tell the truth.
And what I see is that, for instance, we had a lot of chit-chat about walkability, mobility, low mobility, bikes, etc.
Yes.
I see here a big problem.
Yeah. Too many. In one house or in one home, there are 5 cars, 10 motorbikes. People only 5. There's nothing wrong with that, and we need to see this one.
But I think that it is the system itself that must be
we need to rethink, we need to replan, we need to regenerate in terms of our paradigm. Are you agree with that?
Absolutely, yes, because I mean, nothing wrong to use a car if it's needed. If you are far and you cannot use any bus.
And nothing wrong if you are able to use or ride 2 cars in the same time.
Yeah, exactly. And it depends on
maybe
your
more.
Exactly, it depends on your life standard. But it's true that if, for instance, have no drive license, and I'm traveling a lot, and the only secret is that I live in cities that have a lot of public transport.
Yeah, that is the difference between maybe in your country and ours here in Bali. So our public transportation is still challenging for that one. So maybe this ones we can, as an educator, we can give our
more options
community advice like that. Yeah.
I think that we have also to rethink about the public space.
Yeah. Anyway, so I had a chit-chat a lot talking about the tourism, education, about the spiritual tourism, about why people visiting Bali, and then now we have people visit Bali because of the education, because of the knowledge, or maybe in our case it's because of the conference, because Bali has a lot of conference places. Okay, what do you think about that? Do you find hard to get in Bali?
It's not hard apart the distance from Europe, but actually I was in Bangkok, so it was really quick.
So you are traveling from Italy to
traveled to Bangkok and then Bangkok
Bali,
here,
and then back to Bangkok, then back to
Italy probably, but we are not sure, but probably back to Italy. But
enak sekali ya, sobat dari Bali. Saya juga pingin begitu ya. Anyway,
but Bali is, the history of Bali. Bali is one icon of international tourism related with nature and sea and cultural heritage.
Do you enjoy your time in Bali?
I always enjoy my time in Bali, but.
Why
I enjoy, but
if there is a but, means that the first sentence is not proper.
I enjoy a lot. I enjoy the people, but being a planner, since my to my hair.
But you need to make a research. You need to give ask and advice about that one.
Yeah.
So we are in the education, we are in the university. It's nothing wrong with that, as long as we are giving this one is in terms of a positive way. I think
No,
it's
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that what is needed are first of all is information and communication about how to move correctly and how to use
how to make it better, improve. Yeah.
Then there must be something that improve by physical space, because the behavior is affected.
Number
also.
one, behavior paradigm is number one, I guess. Is the best in here. Well, are you coming again to visit Bali?
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. For that one, I'm glad to hear that, Ibu Paola. Yeah. And in your opinion, how can Bali be improved? Once again, you told me that, but once again.
Again, I'm talking through the view, my vision. I cannot talk through my real knowledge. I mean, I don't know exactly what is the state of art of the planning here. I know a bit about disaster management, but I don't know much about
kebencanaan. In bahasa Indonesia, disaster mean kebencanaan.
And this is another topic. I see, and I think that I see here in Bali, there are still part of the planning, let's say, or the policies that are really sectorial. I mean, just looking to what is their own area of interest, or what is their
partial. So not
and then,
not togetherness.
No,
in the same time.
No.
So
there is no holistic
to make
vision.
A great plan.
No.
All departments together and make one plan. So in the one time do this, electricity, I do not know much about the technical, but maybe this is just a concept.
Neither me about Bali. But what is true is that, the fact that what you see, I always told to my students, look out of your window and try to understand. And this is what you see. So it's needed something.
This is the last question for Professor Paola Rizzi. What is your message to Bali, for Bali?
Be proud, aware of what you have, and try to understand how to
be proud
of what you have, and try to understand you have as environment, as heritage.
Be aware
and try to find a way how to harmonize what are all the needs of the
needs
of economy, a life and society within the environment, within what is the environment that we have to live with, and remembering that unfortunately we're not living here for eternity, but we are living this world to someone else. So Bali is a sort of journey.
Are you willing to are you willing to help me on that particular message?
Yes.
Thank you very much. And thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
Far away from Italy, Bangkok and Bali.
It was my pleasure.
As always, I want to be, we want to be always meeting like this, but we know that the time constraints like that, and we both have some things to do. So I think so, like twice a year or once a year. I think it's okay.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
So once again, thank you very much.
Thank you
for your time and for our chit chat today. And this is the first one, and then the second one will be followed soon.
Hope so.
Yes.
I'm here, and maybe I will be more ready about urban planning in Bali.
Yes. I'm glad to hear that.
I will maybe tell something more about
it. Okay.
Thank you.
Demikianlah tadi bincang santai saya, chit-chat saya dengan Profesor Paola Rizzi, seorang urban planner ya di bidangnya, dan beliau juga ahli di bidang disaster mitigation ya dalam kebencanaan. Sangat-sangat menarik apa yang dikatakan oleh beliau, dan terima kasih banyak. Nantikan CHIT-CHAT saya di periode berikutnya. Salam sehat.